one and all. This is the National Real Estate Conversation. Chris Hurley is here, your facilitator for this fun event of conversation of real estate. We do this every weekday morning, and we're really honored that you've joined us. And it's an invitation we extend to everybody. Doesn't matter what business or brokerage you're in. We've started this particular show here every weekday morning for almost 4 years. So it's a group of intentional people. And if you're coming back for the first time, welcome back. And we're honored that you're here, and we're happy to see everybody and to have this nice community of international real estate brokers who intentionally start their day with this community and safest space in North America to work out conversations you're concerned about in this room so that it doesn't cost you commissions in real life. Today's mission, I've got a couple things I've got to want to jot down and accomplish because I want to be intentional about your scripts today. Kim, you jumped off. You want to throw it in there before we start? John, don't jump off. 3, 2, 1.
Well, my question, the Friday prayer thing you talked about yesterday, that was the first I'd heard of it. Can you talk about it now, or is this not good?
No, we're good. So on Fridays, just before Christmas, we did a novena up to Christmas. So we had a group that emerged that was doing a regular preparation for the Christmas season. And so this Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. And so as part of the Christian faith in Lent, especially the Catholic faith, there's portions of fasting on Fridays, fasting on Wednesday if you're participating. And it's a fast. It's a reflection time in Lent. It's a time of preparation for ourselves. And so we're going to use Friday mornings from 7:05 until 7:25 to do a Lenten prayer, do a rosary and then a couple prayers and do it on the same link. And so you can jump on with that group. We've been doing it since the beginning of the year, every Friday. So we've got a group of people that are there, and we'd be honored to have you join us, even if it is just for Lent or if it's for every Friday. We're honored to have you there. And that's what it sounds like, Kim. Same link, scriptsjedi.club. It just starts at 5 minutes past 7 Eastern time.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. John Tramble's here. I saw him in December.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, I can just wait till we get into the main room to ask you this.
Sounds good. Vicky DeLuca.
Good morning. I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing your daughter with us yesterday. She is absolutely lovely, and it was so, so special to see her and to have you bring her on. So just thank you.
So I will share another story, and it's just I'm honored to have her, and I'm honored to share her with you guys. She's a wonderful young woman, and I'm going to be honored to have her become somebody's second half, better half. And you guys know she'll be carrying a lot of weight in that love relationship. But she's a really talented individual. And yet I heard an experience last night that just struck me as how we have to prepare our people around us for all these circumstances and let them be themselves. The new school that we went to has another player on the team who's pretty good. And he has a brother who's also quadriplegic, like my son Dominic's brother is, Joseph, our youngest. And there was some tension last night when that was around, and some boys said some snarky things about the other boy's brother in a wheelchair, and they didn't realize that Dominic's brother's in a wheelchair. And Dominic didn't stand for it. Dominic stood up and advocated, and he said, "Don't ever say that about people in a wheelchair, or I'll beat you to death." And you want your people to have loyalty and to have sensitivity and care and concern. And he listened to that experience, and he aligns with his friend who's on the team who has a similar circumstance. And I just want you to know you prepare people in a way that they're ready for those circumstances, even if that's not one of the scenes you prepared for. Just being in a good lane of associating with people, understanding how they struggle, and being an advocate when it's your time to be called. You never know how you're being prepared or how you're preparing somebody else, but always think about how to advocate for others, especially if they don't have the ability to be their own advocate. And so some people, especially in the handicap world, they struggle to advocate. But nonetheless, I appreciate sharing my daughter and my kids with you guys and their stories of life. And I hope your children, you can share their stories with me one day.
Way to go, daughter. I appreciate that.
You're an amazing dad.
I do the same thing. I do the same thing. I don't care what it is, what situation it is. If I'm there, you're not going to disrespect them. So way to go, daughter.
And the thing I coach Dominic on is that the ignorance in people sometimes shows up in a really raw and ugly way. And we have to endure that and seek their goodness inside through their dark, cloudy exterior. Like, where is the shining part of their heart? I believe that's in each of us. Sometimes it's just wrapped up in a really goofy package that's offensive. So we have to seek a little bit more enlightenment. The mission for today. Have you ever seen an open house before?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever seen? Sherry, have you seen an open house before? She's just.
Yes.
So if your mission is to get attendance at the open house, how are you going to get me in the neighborhood excited to be at the open house? Can somebody call me and get some turnout for the open house on Saturday? You're having an open house on Saturday. You've got a list of 25 people in the neighborhood. How are you going to get me to come to the event? Give me some energy and excitement. Role model a script for us. Open house turnout. That's what you're looking for. Give me some energy and excitement. Values of why sellers would come by an open house. What's curious? What would be interesting? And be prepared to accept the not interested talk, because that's part of it. So what's it sound like to call somebody? Vicky DeLuca's done this before. Vicky, give me a call and let's do open house invitation for sellers or for other neighbors in the area.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, this is Vicky DeLuca, and I'm your local realtor, and I'm just calling to invite you. We are having an open house this weekend.
I'm not thinking of moving.
No, of course, of course. Well, we'd love to have you there because I'm sure you would like to see what the house looks like inside. And you never know, maybe you would like to bring a family member or a friend down. You could choose your neighbor.
What house is it?
It's 453 Elm, right down the street. We'd love to have you. We're having some mimosas and donuts too.
All right, you had me at mimosas. What time is this?
12 to 3.
All right, I'll put it on our calendar. We'll see if we can make it out. Good luck selling it.
Oh, appreciate that. And when we do, I'd like to come by and let you know what we sold it for.
Why would you do that?
Oh, well, I'm sure you would want to know what, things are selling for in the neighborhood because it affects the value of your home.
Yeah, I guess, give me a call or send me a letter, note or something about that. That'd be fine.
Sure, and come by because, not every house is the same inside, and maybe you can get some ideas and see what they've done to their home.
Yeah, okay. That sounds fine. Thanks so much for the call.
All right, I
Have a good
look
day.
forward to seeing you. Bye.
Bye. Vicky, is it hard to maintain the energy when I'm so cold?
Yes, but you know what? I ignore it.
You have to.
I ignore it. That's what I do.
You're on a mission, right? We're
You
on a
did a
mission to
good
fill
job.
the room, right? We've got to persevere for this kind of attendance feature and continue to incentivize them to come out. What are the reasons that people would come out? That's your incentives. She got me at Mimosa. That's a winner for me. That may be the winner for your neighbors. I don't know. Be careful serving mimosas. Dee, do you want to practice open house turnout?
What topic you want?
Hello. Hi,
Dee-
good morning.
Yes, Dee in the ATL. Do you want to do open house turnout?
Yes, good morning, Chris. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Who's this?
This is D'Angela Hudson. I'm your local realtor, and I'm calling with a very exciting opportunity for you. Can I share?
Yeah. How can I help you?
Yeah. Well, your neighbor around the corner just listed their home, and I was calling with the opportunity for you to choose your neighbor. I know, we don't want you to have any pesky neighbors around. This is your chance to choose maybe a family member or a coworker that you enjoy living near. Does that sound exciting to you?
Well, I never thought about that. But I don't know anybody right now.
No worries. Because we're having this conversation, you might hear about people who are looking to move. And when you do, can I count on you to think of me?
But I don't know you.
Okay. Well, why don't you come by and meet me at the open house? We can just chit chat for a moment. It'll give you a chance to see what your neighbor's been up to and take a look around their home. And we can get to know each other. So that way, when your family member or friend mentions needing to move, hopefully you'll have the confidence to refer them over to me. Sound good?
Yeah, that's fine. What time is this?
This is at 2 on Saturday. So I'll come by and bring you a flyer, and I look forward to seeing you and your family there.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll see you there.
Thank you.
Love it.
Yes,
Who
good
heard the
job.
future pacing? Who heard the future pacing? Because we're having this. Listen, guys, that's a language technique. You're projecting that because we're having this conversation, you're probably going to run into three people thinking about real estate. Do you have somebody you would connect them with if they had questions? You know, being referred to an active agent is what most people find valuable. Would you agree? And just because I'm on the phone talking with you, it shows you that I'm active, I engage people, and I make offers. And sometimes it's the right fit, but people just know I'm always thinking about real estate. Doesn't that sound like the type of agent you'd want to refer? Stephen Gendel.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Chris, this is Stephen Gendel. I'm sure you saw my sign go up on your neighbor's house around the corner. I just want to apologize because this Sunday, when we do our 1 hour open house, it's going to be so crowded. Our last one had over 57 families through in an hour that the traffic on your block is going to be so busy. If you have any questions about how we do it or why we do it that way, I would love to set up a time to meet after the open house. I can tell you how many offers we're going to get, just in case you're curious what's happening in your neighborhood.
No, we're not thinking of selling, but I'm a little bit worried about this traffic issue.
Yeah, I just want to apologize in advance. It'll be really crowded, but we do it in 10th hour, so we're only bothering you from 2 to 3 on Sunday.
All right, 2 to 3. I'll make a note of that. Yeah, I don't want to be, I don't want to be inconvenient, Stephen. So yeah, if you guys could make sure it doesn't last all day, I think that'd be helpful.
Not a problem. And if you have any questions about what we sell the house for afterwards, I'll happy to reach back out to you.
Okay, that's fine. Not really a big concern for us. I'm really concerned about the traffic though.
Sure. It'll only be 1 hour. You're good.
All right, thank you. What do you think, y'all? How are you going to get turnout for these open houses? Stephen, would you have asked for my name and information to build a database and send me stuff? Is that appropriate?
And I probably would have had it already if I'm making that phone call because I don't want to make a call unless I know your name and the phone number and what what your house is. So yeah, I would be like, hey Chris, it's Stephen Gendel. Hope you saw my sign come up 4 doors down from your house. I'm sure you've seen a lot of traffic of showings. This weekend's going to be really chaotic, and I want to apologize for all the chaos, but it will be done by Monday because we sell homes in 4 days. Just want to walk through that process and apologize that Super Bowl Sunday will be a little busy between 2 and 3.
So you guys, if you want to go back and listen to that, that's a good script about the turnout. It projects success, it projects activity, and that demonstrates our professionalism even before the event. So that's a script that Stephen uses. We've heard that type of angle before. You can go back on YouTube or Facebook and look at that. Stephen, thank you for doing that. And thank you to all my friends who did a role model today. That is the talent that's on this call. People willing to step up and just be confident in projecting yourself, knowing that, in this group, you're not really affecting another buyer or seller. You're getting better with brokers like the people you see here. So the next step for us is if you want to go to breakout rooms, it's your chance to practice. If you're not doing an open house, go do some open houses. If you have no business, if you have no A clients, start an open house. You'll find buyers, you have product. And so you study the market and attract those. And when you decide to implement open house, inviting the people in the neighborhood is a key piece to getting turnout. So don't let that drive past you. Practice inviting people to an open house from the neighborhood. Double thumbs up. I'm opening breakout rooms now. Some people had a challenge yesterday. If you click on the link below, the 3 little dots, you'll see breakout rooms and you can jump into any of the rooms. Usually 2 or 3 people is a good number to get a round robin. Double thumbs up, my friends. See you on the other side.
Chris, it shows 4 squares instead of 3 dots for the breakout room. It's on the upper left on my phone. I don't know if it's different on laptops or not.
See, she's been here for a bit. So Kathleen, thank you for troubleshooting it for other people on different devices. So you never know where it is for you. Look
Cool.
for breakout rooms. It's there.
Just find it. Okay.
Find
Glad
it.
to
Thank
be
you,
here.
Kathleen.
Okay. You're welcome.
There's the room. All right, in the main room, we can do whatever we need to do. practice this call or another call.
So Chris, I just want to brag on you for a moment for people who were not on the early birds this morning.
Mm.
Chris, that question that you put forward about the situation was a woman who was dealing with her elderly husband who now has to go into memory care. And the way you handled that question, what would you think he would want you to do? Wow. That was so powerful. You know, we deal with people who are, she said, you know, my husband, we always made decisions together, and now I don't have him to do that with. And it was, for me, it felt like you moved your chair over to her side of the table and sat down and said, we'll get through this together in that one simple question. I just want to say bravo. That was really powerful.
So I compliment Jean Marie. She also knows that angle because that's her lane of business. And it's also, if it's a pop-up business opportunity for anyone, when you're at a point when somebody's in these, senior life event situations that, Bernadette and I were talking about the same thing about 20 minutes ago. And it's that there's fear in process, and that's where they are. It's not an objection to moving. It's that there's uncertainty, and they need, if they've been like Jean Marie represented, somebody who's always had a duo in decision making, this independent decision is like, it's like scarier than I do like 80 years ago. And that may be, you know what? And so as another reflection, like a reflection point, go back 80 years or 60 years. It was scary when he asked you, when he proposed, wasn't it? Maybe you were bringing two different cultures together. Maybe you were bringing two different religions together. All of those things presented challenges, yet your confidence together led you to this life of amazing stories. And this one is going to be as decisive, and it's also going to be that much of a blessing for you because you're not carrying the burden of this chapter into the future. Right? So, I mean, just strategies like that to get with people in a way that helps them see clearly what the decision is. Because Donna, what's not the decision that makes any sense?
No decision.
Right, to keep status quo. Don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't do that.
And you know, you gave her the strength because in this scenario, you gave the person the strength because they may have talked about this. He may have told her what he wanted to have happen in this situation. And now you've given her the permission to go ahead and execute those wishes. It was just really powerful. Thank you for that. You also said, you know, people aren't just getting married. You know, it's true. It's a whole life continuum.
We encounter them in these really pop-up moments that are different. And then you encounter them in these really deep moments that are personal and substantial and difficult. I mean, all the life event things are not happy.
Hey, Chris,
Yes, John.
what I was going to ask is I need advice from not only you, the whole group. I have clients that put an offer in on a building they're going to use for daycare back in August. We got an inspection and need things done. So of course the agent and the seller pushed back, and eventually we just canceled the contract because the seller wouldn't pitch in and out. Things that have been a problem for years, apparently, but it's still on the market. And my client is like, hey, we want to make an offer, but, you know, of course, circumstances have changed, the terms have changed, and I agree with that. The problem is the sellers had two other offers, and she turned them both down because she considered them too low.
Yeah.
So what conversation can I have with the agent to try to get her client to see the light, if you will?
When's the last time they rejected the offer?
The buy offer or the last offer they got?
So, like, the question I would go to the listing agent, I'd say, when's
Okay.
the last rejection that you guys had? What did that sound like? What did she say at that point? Did you think the offer that you received was legit? Like, was there cash on the table substantially to convince them to move forward? Or was it like a fly-by-night deal? It's just kind of kicking tires thing?
Okay.
I'm going to show you an offer that shows a performance in a narrow timeline. What are the key points other than price that this seller would lean into? Is it, if we close quickly, would that be meaningful? If we put a substantial at-risk LOI fee or due diligence fee, would that entice her to sign a contract that may have some different outcomes than what she's thinking? Like, just out of curiosity, is she aware that the price she's hoping to get is not the price the buyers are thinking?
Yeah.
What does she
That's-
say when she thinks about the offers that you're bringing to her and what the buyers are telling her about the property? So if she doesn't sell it, what's the plan? Have you
Mhm.
had a conversation about your monthly expenses of holding costs over the course of the next 6 to 12 months?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a good offer. It's just you've got to pry and see if the agent has any strength, if the seller has any consciousness, right? But if they're so you've got some sellers, John, and especially in commercial, that if it's if it's been vacant and they've absorbed that hit every month, that's not the pain point, and
Okay.
that their
That's-
deference of the ultimate sacrifice of where they hope to be and where the market is something they'll withstand for 6 to 12 months. I have a client like this, and I wanted them to sell. It made sense for them to sell for 100 different reasons, but the house literally has been vacant since August. And we had it under contract in August, and they said, no, we're going to keep it. I'm like, no, run your pro forma. You're spending
Mhm.
every month this amount of money in holding costs for a vacant home because you're not renting it. Oh no, it's okay. And I'm like, you had 40,000 in equity, and every month you don't sell the home, you're chiseling away at that. Like, you realize you're spending $1,000 a month to hold it. Like, don't do that. Sell it and take the money to a place that doesn't depreciate.
All right.
So yeah, but
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's just part of the situation, John. Some people just choose sellers in their circumstance, and they don't choose logic as the reason they decide. Ronnie, what does Ronnie have on this? What is this?
The age of Aquarius. What are you talking
Is that
about?
what it is? Okay, I'm trying to pin it. It's not pinning for me.
My birthday last week and 2 birthdays today and tomorrow. Come on now.
Oh my God, is this the age?
Let the sun shine in, as they're telling us. I love you, Chris.
That's crazy. Oh my goodness. All right, what do you want to work on in the main room besides the age of Aquarius? I put it in there. There's the age of no.
Question.
Yes.
Okay, Grace. A seller want to sell his house. He's also an real estate agent. What is your advice to him? For sale by owner himself
Yeah.
or put to agency? What's your idea?
So are you just let me get this clear. Does your broker allow you to go for sale by owner and do it that way without
He can
them?
He can do on his own without signing the leasing agreement. Then he can sell his own. But he's also an agent. So what is your advice?
Would you find it valuable to have a buffer in between the transaction? That way, if something goes wrong, there's not personal issues right in the middle of the contract. Being a realtor, that's what we do. We help people in the middle of the negotiation so that it doesn't get off track and people get insulted or offended. Do you have any concerns about that?
Okay.
Selling it on your own is certainly something that you could do. Is it what you want to do?
He's also an agent.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to represent yourself? Is that the best? Is it about the money? Is that what you're worried about?
I think that's what he's about. Yeah.
Okay. What's important about the money? Do you have like some debts you need to pay off? You're trying to just make everything you can?
No, it's clear, free and clear.
Okay. Have you sold houses like this before?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Would you find value in having somebody who can give you a second opinion about the market or your strategy?
Okay. So I suggest him. Go ahead.
I mean, Ken, in this circumstance, it's difficult.
Yes,
right? A free and clear house with a realtor who's probably sold 2 houses in the past year, and they're going to sell their own house.
yeah, okay.
How'd you do with the last yard sale you operated? I mean, wasn't that an opportunity to sell things on your own? What was the item you sold for more than what you had it priced for? Did that ever happen at your yard sale?
Not quite often.
Yeah. So when you're doing this for sale by owner, isn't that kind of like a yard sale?
Kind of, yes.
I mean, that's kind of a scripts, Ken. You're navigating
will.
that sort of,
I will tell
parallel
him that.
poles.
Very good
And be-
advice. Okay.
And be okay with the pushback. I mean, people get
Okay.
a real estate license and they inflate with helium, and they think all of a sudden they have superpowers. Nope, just a
Okay.
license.
Okay. I think he should go with the agency and not for sale by owner. It's not
Ken, when people list with an agent, do you know what benefits they get?
a lot. I know.
Yeah. So you just imagine what list that is. Steven Scott has 8 things that he does different.
Okay.
And then, I do 8 things different than no other realtor does. And that might be the solution you need to get the most from the market.
Okay. Wait, thank you for the advice.
You're
I tell
welcome.
him that. Thank you, sir.
Chris, I have a question. I'm running into a situation I want to explain
Fire away.
and get some hint.
Okay, let's do it.
So I submitted an offer for my client. I will give you numbers in detail, so you know what's going on. And based on that, I would like to reply to the other agent what my client wants to do. So here is the thing: there is a escalation clause. I put it in my offer to escalate up to 401. Now, other agent, the listing agent, is telling me that there is a multiple offer and you are competing against the other offer, which is 405. So there is a $4,000 difference between 2 offers. And he's proposing me, or some reason he's leaning towards my client offer to come up with a better price. Now, they have already 405. So my take on is basically why you are not taking 405. And on the other side, I'm thinking that if my client goes up to 405, then they might escalate the other offer because they have escalation up to 415 from 405. So we are in the situation that, like, I talk to my client that, look, there might be a possibility that they will take 405 from us and then they will escalate other offer to 407.5, something like that. Or probably they will say, due to other terms in the other contract, they might choose our offer. But there is a 50-50 chances, and more chances is we will lose based on the other offer because they are escalating up to 415. So what should be my take on with other agent that, hey, what should I be telling them for my client? You know what I mean?
Will you benefit by getting more details from the listing agent?
So I tried to do that.
Okay.
And he just sent me the screenshot of that first page where the offer price is and closing date, not any other terms disclosed. And I said, look, based on the escalation clause, you need to disclose what other terms are, because it has to be competing offer.
Just out of curiosity, what are the other terms that you've seen that your seller got excited about? Just for the sake of dialogue, what was it about our offer that makes him lean to it? Obviously, if it's not price, because our price is lower, what you've shown me, what is it about my offer that your seller found attractive? Other than price, what's a term that we could give the offer that they'd lean into? Like, imagine if we stuck at 405, but we gave them this other offer, like they could keep the swing set or they could stay in the house for a month. Would that be a difference maker for them that's not about price? What are the motivators for them? Do they need more time in the place? Do they need to take the washer dryer? What's the secret sauce that we could offer them? I mean, you got to pry for more information out, and then ultimately look back at your client and say, here's the information we gathered. Now it's ultimately your decision. If we go this route, or this route, here's the risk, here's the benefit. And ultimately, if you have to have this house, here's what the situation that most likely will lead to you purchasing the house would be. Can you do 415? Would you feel comfortable at 415? All right, and they'll say what they say. All right, back on the other side, golden bumper sticker nuggets. If you had a good workout with somebody, you can raise your hand and thank them. We'll do a birthday song here in just a minute. 3, 2, 1. Golden bumper sticker nuggets. I appreciate you guys. That's my golden bumper sticker nugget. I love this group. I love the camaraderie that we share. I love the contributions that you make, and I'm blessed to have been here for as long as we have. So thank you. And on the note here, fastest birthday of all time birthday song. It's the speed version. We'll do that really quickly. Sing happy birthday to Lorenzo today, and it's our warm up because Valerie's tomorrow. We'll do a quick version of the happy birthday song. Then Lisa Perlman will jump in and close us out. So here we go, everybody, on the count of 3, the fast version of the birthday song. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Lorenzo! Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, dear Lorenzo.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you and many more.
To you. Happy
You
birthday.
received the inspiration. Now go put in the perspiration. Happy birthday.
I got a snow day, so I'm away from school. I get to
Good
stay
for
home
you. It's a clear
for my
sunny day in
birthday.
Buffalo.
All right.
Say
Have a
bye.
blessed day,
Bye.
everyone.
Say bye,
Bye. Look at
Say God
you.
bless.
Okay.
God bless you.
Say thank you.
Ah, that's so sweet.
Yeah, that's
So
one of
they love
my
you.
big why.
All
Help
the
him
babies
provide for
love
this
me.
little guy.
Thank you,
God bless you.
everyone. Have a
Have a
wonderful day.
successful day.
Bye.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.